Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Season 2, Week 47 of DC Sports Digest. Lots to talk about as usual this week, so without further ado, let's just get started. Starting with the Nats, they won the Cubs series, they split the Marlins series, and they lost the first game of the Pirates series, getting to a 61-86 record. One thing I saw earlier this week that surprised me is Josiah Gray is actually making a rehab outing with High A Wilmington, so that's good to see him getting closer. I assume he's obviously not going to play this year, but just getting back in the swing of things, and maybe by next season he'll be ready to come back and see how he is after a long injury recovery process. We had a nice comeback in the final game of the Cubs series to win that series, which was great to see. And then also later in the week, Josh Bell went nuclear this week. He hit 2 home runs in a 15-7 win versus the Marlins. 4 home runs in the week. There's a stretch where he was 4 for 8, and those 4 that 4 was just home runs, which is just kind of insane. He went crazy this week. He just saved all his offense for this week, we got it sometime, I guess, so that's something. Mitchell Parker had probably one of his best starts to the year, 4 hits in 7 innings. We were able to get a 7-5 win again versus the Marlins, and we split that series. Mackenzie Gore made his return from the IL, so luckily that was not too serious. C.J. Abrams got 30 steals for the 3rd straight year, so congrats to him. We also started looking at some GM candidates, starting with our interim GM, Mike DiBartolo, and also a couple guys from the Guardians, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, and I forget another team, but we've been looking around. I think the Cubs as well, so looking at some executives from around there. So it's good to start early, and we'll see. Hopefully we can find a good long-term permanent GM now. We come out this week of the Pirates series finishing, and the Braves series, and then the start of the Mets series. And then after this week, I think there's only another week or two of Nats baseball, and that'll be the end of the season. So we'll see if we can finish strong and maybe get above our 71 wins. It's still barely possible, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can finish the season strong. That's all I have for the Nationals. On the Wizards, unfortunately, Serbia and France lost in the Eurobasket round of 16, so they're out. And another unfortunate news, Bilal Koulibaly has to get finger surgery. He's going to miss the start of the season, it seems like. I think maybe it's like a 4 to 6 week injury, so hopefully he shouldn't miss that much time, but there's a good chance I don't think they should rush him in to play the first game, so if he misses the first week or 2 of games, that's honestly fine, and then he'll come back and be better and more healthy. That's all I have for the Wizards. On the Cavs, not much for them either, but they had the start of rookie camp. A lot of our prospects, pretty high prospects are there too, which is good. And then starting this Thursday on the 18th, we have the start of training camp. So that'll be pretty exciting as Caps hockey gets even closer. That's all for the Caps. On to the Commanders, a lot to talk about here. They started the week with beating the Giants 21-6. Bill scored his first touchdown and won Rookie of the Week because our amazing fans voted for him so many times. So congrats to Bill on that Rookie of the Week. I'll get to more about him later for the Thursday game. Defense looked really good against the Giants, generated a lot of pressure, and just really looked good against the Giants. So that was great to see. The only thing with the Giants game, we definitely didn't play perfect. A lot of drops, some miscommunications, 11 penalties was kind of insane. Probably about the only thing we cleaned up on Thursday. And back to the defense, Deron Payne had 1.5 sacks. That was great to see him in a contract year. And Deebo Samuel had a really good start to the season. 96 all-purpose yards, 77 receiving yards, and then he had a 19-yard touchdown run. So that was great to see. They both really impressed. And that was our first time not allowing a touchdown since the 2020 season. Just allowed the Giants to 2 field goals. Their offense really could not do anything. That was really great to see the defense stepping up like that. And then between games, we had a little bit of contract news with Laramie Tunsil. We gave him a bonus. I don't know how all this stuff works, but somehow what we did saved $14 million in cap space for this season, so that was great to see. It gives us an opportunity to make a move later in the season if we need to. So yeah. And then on Thursday, we had a game versus the Packers. Unfortunately, we lost 27-18. The Packers just dominated, but we also played really bad. The Packers, they just dominated the trenches, O-line, defensive line. It didn't matter. The offense did not get anything going. And just a lot of injuries. Austin Eckler tore his Achilles. I think he's probably out for the season. Dietrich Wise is probably out for the season. And my thing is, I don't know why Eckler was playing so much time. Bill only got 4 carries on Thursday, so that was just, I don't get it. Doesn't make sense. I mean, his injury was non-contact. Like, he was just trying to, like, run and his leg got messed up. But still, I don't know why he's getting the majority of carries when he's supposed to be, like, a third down back and not get as many carries. They should have given Bill so many more carries. I just don't get it. Just not very smart. Just some situations on offense that just didn't make sense. Jaden didn't play perfect. He also got a little banged up, but we're hoping it's not too serious. He also has 10 days, little mini bye to recover. So I'm hoping nothing's wrong with there. And plenty of other injuries. John Bates got injured. A couple other injuries. And yeah, like I said, the defensive line, offensive line didn't do very well. Josh Connerly didn't have the best game, but he was obviously facing Micah Parsons. But unfortunately, week 3 he plays Max Crosby, so it doesn't get any more easier. Yeah, the secondary was really not that good. It just was not a good showing. But the good thing is it's just week 2. I kind of thought that I said earlier that we needed to win the Giants game because then we could afford to lose this game. And I think we still can afford to lose to this game. We just have to bounce back in week 3 against the Raiders. And coming up this week, we'll be prepping for the Raiders, who look decent. They're definitely not a team to be slept on, but also a team we definitely should win against. I will talk about them more next week. And that's all I have for the Commanders. On other DC sports news, DC United, they won a friendly this week. Their next game is today versus Orlando. Washington Spirit beat Seattle. Their next games are today versus Kansas City and Thursday versus Los Angeles. Mystics ended their season losing to the Fever and Liberty with a 16-28 record. Shakira Austin also got the Comeback Player of the Year award, so congrats to her. And DC Power tied Lexington 1-2-0 record for 5 points. And their next game is this week against Brooklyn. Weekly awards, I had the Nationals beating the Marlins 15-7. My player of the week was Josh Bell, who hit 2 home runs in that game and just looked really good in general. 4 home runs in the week, so that was just great to see. My team of the week, I'm just going to give it to the Washington Spirit for beating Seattle. Not too many other good contenders for that award. And that's all I have for this video, so make sure to check the Instagram. And thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.